Hello there and welcome back to Cuphead. Cuphead now sees things in a new light, a considerably more black and white light. He knows what's good and he knows what's evil, and he's stronger for it. And I was going to go into the final boss with this filter on, but fortunately I actually thought in advance of things and actually tried out fighting one of the bosses with this filter, the Phantom Train. And as it turns out, they don't actually do anything to the pink parryable objects to make them stand out in the black and white filter. So I don't really feel like challenging myself extra hard going into the finale, so let's go back to color. That actually does make me curious about the 2-strip filter I have as well. Does that get rid of the pink since it causes a reduction in colors? It's hard to say. But that is something they should probably patch, because like these extra visual filters, they should be there just for purely visual sake. They shouldn't be adding extra challenge on top of things, in my opinion. Okay, so let's try Cuphead's luck. Inkwell Hell. Hey, I guess now I know why none of the areas have had their own distinct names, just for this. Inkwell Isle, 1, 2, 3, and then Hell. Okay then, I have no idea how long this finale is going to be, but I'm hoping to fit it all into this one episode. So, I forget exactly whether I've said this on camera or not, but there have been a number of potential Super Mario World allusions up to this point. Mostly within some of the soundtracks of a few of the stages. They sound very much like a few themes from Super Mario World. And right here I'm immediately reminded of the final level of Super Mario World, where you have both the main entrance, and then also a back entrance that it is possible to unlock. Of course, it doesn't seem like I have that ability at the moment, and I'm curious how I would gain that. I do have a few ideas pertaining to some NPCs I met before. We'll see exactly how that shakes out. For now, it's King Dice and all bets are off. It's pretty telling that for this boss here, they don't actually give you the simple difficulty option. If you haven't gotten good by this point, then you aren't beating the game. Gotta play a game with him. Kinda funny having a cutaway cutscene for only 2 frames, but sure. Alright, I've heard a lot of things about King Dice that he is really difficult to handle. So let's see, so... I wasn't expecting a loading screen mid-boss. So that's interesting. It seems it's gonna be a boss gauntlet, not of bosses I fought before even, but of entirely new ones. Of course he's got these wavy projectiles that I have such a hard time avoiding. I should probably be making use of my charge shot, especially since these cigarettes don't seem to be blocking shots. Why then are they there? Are they here to hinder me in some fashion? Can I use them to my advantage? I'm honestly not sure. Also, question, am I fighting the Devil's Cigars or King Dice's? Oh, I was so close to getting through that phase. Although not without taking quite a lot of damage, so I would have died soon anyway. Let's try that again. Yeah, okay, so I start back off with King Dice himself. And it doesn't look like I can hurt him. I just have to wait for him to do his stuff. Or I guess I have to do... Okay, I see. I'm the one who has to make the bets. That's pretty cool. I got the same dice roll as last time, a number 3, so I'm guessing I'm fighting the same boss? That would make sense. Indeed. Presumably it's only pure luck that I got a 3 twice in a row. And that it truly is random. Ooh, I just realized the top of his head when he lights up is very possibly parryable. I also just realized that avoiding these projectiles is actually easier than I thought. You can get very close to them without actually getting hit by them. A little bit of that shoot 'em up hitbox nonsense that I unfortunately failed there. What is that called? I can never remember what it's called. The whole shmup thing of getting so close to a projectile that it's actually touching your character's sprite or model, but not their actual hitbox, so you avoid taking damage. Okay, let's see if I can at least get to a next phase. Oh, right. I have invincibility, in which case I should have saved that. Whoops. That was kind of a waste. Ah, well, that's fine. And while talking about supers, I just realized I never did test out the third one anymore. I wonder if it would have come in more handy here. Okay, so the blue triangle is on a different spot on the roulette board. Excuse me. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what that means. I guess I advanced 3 spaces. So, depending on what roll I get, maybe that doesn't affect the boss I fight, but it does affect my path of progress. I noticed specifically there's a start over slot right over here that I probably want to avoid. As for everything else, 1, 2, 4, 5, I'm guessing those do nothing in particular. Let's see, clear, safe. I have no idea what those are about. I guess I'll just have to play and find out. So, can I time this to actually affect what score I get? Yeah, okay. So I only have a 1, a 2, and a 3 option. So if I time it right, I'm guessing I want safe. Well, I'm not going to be able to avoid a fight entirely, but... let's see... let's see if I can go for a 1 just to see what the safe panel is, aside from presumably no boss fight. Oh, I timed it a little bit too late, oh well. Okay, so this is 6 for 1, and the big number is 5. So it's probably going to be a different boss fight.
A brawl is surely brewing.
I wonder just how many of these there are. Is there one for every numbered space on the roulette board? Because if so, that is an impressive amount of work that they put in. Not that that's nothing new for the game, but even by the game standards, it's mite impressive. Okay, so it's time to begin once more. So, I'm curious what those heart symbols are about. Let's see if I can't land a 1 this time. I think I need to jump right as soon as I see the 1 appear for the first time, and then I'll have my parry just in time for the next one to show up. Gotta avoid jumping too early, jumping the gun, as it were. Really, jumping the die. Okay, my timing strategy did work, and oh, I just get free HP. Okay, I'll take that. This is a really cool boss fight. It's a little bit Mario Party-esque almost. With the whole board game thing going on and trying to get on certain spaces. I guess that's more just a general board game thing though than Mario Party specifically. That is probably parryable, but eh. No, it's not. I just tried parrying it. Okay, in fairness, it is red. Yeah, I'm not doing a good job at these drinks here. A very poor job indeed. I'm still at a loss as to how to avoid the shot glasses attack. I guess it vanishes quickly enough that if I jump up in the air and maybe use my dash, I should be able to stay up in the air long enough for it to go away. That's probably how. Alright, so... oh, and I just realized the bonuses I get actually change from run to run, so now I'm going to want to land on a 2. Oh, unfortunately I did things a little bit too quickly. Yeah, wow, there was so much going on in this fight. This is just... I've said this before, I'm repeating myself unduly now, I realize, but I am super impressed. So yeah, it looks like the bosses I fight have fixed positions on the board. The only thing that changes are the random bonuses I get. And... okay, does that have a variable spot that it lands on, or does it follow me? I think it follows me, that vertical attack. Yeah, definitely. And interestingly, unlike previous boss fights that had multiple parts, rather than all having the same HP bar, I can actually kill them individually. Alright, hopefully I can land on some free health so I can actually continue a little bit farther this run. I think there was a hot space in reach of mine. Of course, I'll be making less progress if I do that, so you know what? Let's try and land on the safe space. So I gotta wait for a 3. Ah, and again, I did things a little bit too early. Clearly, I do need to work on my timing. I was hoping to get to the safe space and then the next hot space. That would be good for both progress and health, but
This match will get red hot.
let's see if I can get through this guy without taking damage. And, I think next time I die, I'm gonna return to the map and change my super. Having the, whatchamacallit, the laser blast, energy beam, whatever they call it, would be a lot more useful in general, I feel. Yeah, okay, I think the cigarettes are just here to provide an obstacle when you're making your way from one side of the arena to the other. And fortunately, the smoke dash upgrade pretty much neuters that completely. Yeah, so far I have not seen a reason to ever unequip that. Even getting 2 extra health pips wouldn't be worth it. Alright, let's try and go a full 3 spaces this time. And good, I adjusted my timing properly. So now I got a leg up on the competition. That's probably why those safe spaces are there. If you time your rolls perfectly, you can end up going basically from safe space to hot space, and thus having an easier time than if you were to just get random numbers. So far, well, this does seem a lot more difficult than the previous boss fights, and you know, it should. It's kind of the final, or really more penultimate boss. It doesn't seem unmanageable, so I'm not sure why, so far, he has the difficult reputation that he does. I'm getting the feeling that once I get to the end of the roulette board, he'll probably have something else to throw at me. And that's why people have such a tough time with him. Wait, what even... was that the end path of a projectile that hit me there? Because I'm honestly not sure. Probably should have made use of my invincibility, but eh. Doesn't hurt to save it for whatever lies ahead. Okay, that was cleared. Let's try and land on a 1 now. And booyah, yep, I got the timing down. That doesn't mean I'm gonna get it perfect each time, but I should be more reliable. Oh, they got rid of the... oh no, it's still there. I thought they changed the hot place to one of those number for 1s, but no. What does that mean? 30 for 1, 18 for 1, 12 for 1? I have no idea. Okay, then there's also in the background 180 for 1. I feel like there's something else going on here that I'm not quite understanding. I guess I'll just pay it no mind for now. I want to get a 3. Booyah. Gives me 1 extra hit. So, who am I fighting this time? Is this gonna be the Jackrabbit? Oh, nope, something else. Okay, aeroplane stage, sure. Wow, they really put a lot of work into King Dice. I get the feel... I don't like the fact that a good portion of the screen in front of me is covered with, you know, foreground elements, because that's making it tougher to avoid stuff. Right, I don't have invincibility, I just have my bomb, so maybe it's a good thing I saved it. It'll help me get through this a little bit more quickly, which I clearly need. I think some of the horsemen below are throwing up projectiles. The issue is... a lot of the time, they and the projectiles they fire... yeah, I can see what hit me at the top there. I'm pretty sure that's what hit me, that cloth thing. A lot of the time, they're covered by those foreground elements. I've complained about that before, and that is just straight up bad design. You should never be obscuring something to make it difficult for a player to reckon with. That is just, it's cheap, it adds difficulty, but cheap difficulty. Not the good kind of difficulty. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna exit to the map and equip my first super. I do think that's going to be more useful. Unfortunately, that means sitting through a few more loading screens, but that's perfectly a-okay by my book. They're short enough. And I'm trying to consider if I should re-equip my arms, but honestly, I think Pea Shooter and Shot Shot is a good setup for this fight. Honestly, Twin Heart starting out with might not be the worst thing, because even though that would lower my attack power significantly, most of these mini-bosses are calibrated to be fairly, fragile. They don't seem to have a lot of HP, and having 2 extra hits might allow me to last a little bit longer. And I just realized I never did try out the whetstone much, and I'm probably not going to, I'm afraid. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with my current setup. It's what I'm used to, I know it works. It's possible changing to something else might give me an advantage, but it's equally possible it would give me a disadvantage, so best to just avoid that, I think. Alright, let's go for a 1. Just in the nick of time. I could see it was about ready to shift over to the next frame and land on a 3, but I got it. I'm a crack parrier.
A great slam and then some.
It's like a crack shot, but with parrying. No relation to drugs, in case you were wondering. You know what, let's get rid of these jerks here, because them covering the airspace makes it more difficult to avoid these jerks' attacks. Alright, then let's get rid of the thing that's spawning them. Because honestly, the... what would I call you? Whiskey bottle, I guess? Because it looks like you have whiskey in you. He's found a way the least threatening of these bosses. Just as long as you're on the move and you don't move back into a spot that you just were in, he basically can never hit you. The other two are far more dangerous. Yeah, okay, I have that mini-boss down pat. It should not threaten me at all in the future. Alright, let's go for a 3. This would be an interesting boss to see speedrun, because I'm sure you could time things such that regardless of the piece layout on the board, you could probably manipulate things to just get the perfect roll each time. Like without waiting around like I do. So that would be interesting to watch. Okay, I gotta get a 3. And booyah. I'm safe, King Dice. Alright, now I'm gonna want another 3. You're King Dice, I'm King Parry. Okay, so I haven't been paying attention really if there's a correlation between the number on the roulette space that I land on and the boss I fight. There probably is. Yep, okay, those jerks are attacking me. It looks like it's only the blue ones though. The rest are just there to act as visual blur, basically. To distract from the ones who are actually dangerous. Yep, there comes another one, so I'm gonna want to speed up to avoid that. Okay, now that I know how that works. Yeah, these mini-bosses... Okay, well I just got hit, so never mind about that. I was gonna say these mini-bosses really aren't all that threatening because they're pretty simple. Which does make sense since, you know, they're only a part of a greater boss fight. They only have an attack or 2 and thus are a lot easier to manage. And hey, I returned with my super. So even though I got hit like twice, that's perfectly okay. Especially if I land on a hot space next. So... yeah, I'm gonna want to get a 3 once more. 3 3s, baby. 3 3s. And then I want to land on the safe space, and then, no matter what I get, I do not want to get a 1 and start over. That would be the worst. Although if I do have to fight King Dice himself after all this, I could see that maybe being useful, assuming the spots respawn. The spaces, that is, the bonuses. Because then you could theoretically get through these fights without taking damage and just farm hearts. I'm assuming they probably don't respawn to avoid you from being able to do that. Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. I thought I still had invincibility. I kind of momentarily forgot that I had unequipped it and thus used my energy beam completely uselessly. And that probably would have helped me get through this fight without taking a lot of damage. Oh well. Yeah, I wasn't managing very well the fact that they actually moved from the right side to the left side like that. First time something like that's actually cropped up in the game, so it's a skill that's been untested so far. Okay, well that could have gone a lot better, but let's see. So now I want to get a 2, and I very much do not want to get a 3. So I'm gonna have to be very careful here. Alright. Still got my mojo. All I need is another 2. And booyah. Oh, you friggin' jackass. What? That's not fair. Yeah, okay, so this is why King Dice is considered to be so rough. You have to go through a whole gauntlet just to get up to him. And then he's a right pain in the ass of a boss himself as well. It's his final boss. I'm not actually sure what I was supposed to do there. Like, it seemed like a setup where you have to go from pink card to pink card until he just stops his attacks. But it didn't seem like they came quickly enough for that to be doable. Oh, this guy again. So I made it back to him in decent condition, not great, but... and now even worse. I did not expect him to just suddenly slam down on me like that, and that's why I decided to cut here, because this is new stuff. I mean, not new, but it's a fight that I haven't really gotten a hang of yet, so I figured I'd show this attempt. Definitely having my super and actually using it effectively helps a lot. Alright. So I didn't get all of the health bonuses, unfortunately. I missed one, but I do have 2 HP going into the King Dice fight. Assuming I can get these next 2 rolls properly. Oh, nearly messed up the timing there. Again, it's so stressful doing this because while I'm pretty competent at the timing, I know that if I fail it, I'm going to be in a much worse position, possibly being sent all the way back to the start. And that really screws with your ability to perform. And that's why I'm so hesitant when going for these rolls. Okay, that's 1. Oh my goodness. And yep, the hot spaces do not respawn. Oh boy, that is rough. Okay. You know what? I think I'm just gonna give this one a retry. Oh, okay. This is a mini-boss I've never fought before. I'm currently operating under the assumption that each section of the roulette board... that's rough. Each section of the roulette board has 2 mini-bosses that you can end up fighting. That seems consistent from what I've experienced thus far. So this one's definitely a lot rougher than the alcohol combo, but still not all that bad, especially now that I know what it's about. Kind of annoying that you... Ooh, I did not... See, that's what I mean when I say that putting objects in the foreground to cover objects in the playing field is just bullshit difficulty. I didn't know there was a token there because it was literally covered. I could not see it.
Good day for us.
Oh hey, another new mini-boss. Okay, it must be that each number has its own mini-boss then. And I've just, by my own rules, have been getting the same fights over and over. Alright, these don't count for parries. I guess these are to provide cover, I see. Well, thanks to Smoke Dash, I don't quite need that, although clearly I need to work on my timing because she is actually really tough to avoid. I think it's because she actually moves a little bit more with each step than I expect. So, I kept doing my dashes a microsecond too late. Okay. I think in future attempts with her, I shouldn't have any problems. Unfortunately, I've kind of run out of hearts, so even if I make it to King Dice this run, I'm not in good shape at all. Maybe at least I can learn a little bit more about him, though. That's what I hope. Maybe I can even make him my Nakama. See, I use the word Nakama because, as a Japanese word, it means so much more than the word friend ever will. And is thus a lot more significant to use. If you don't read like One Piece and some other manga, I'm basically taking the piss out of idiots who just absolutely refuse to translate some words because they're special. And I hate that stuff so much. Okay, made it to King Dot. Right, he starts attacking immediately. Okay, I see. I thought I had to avoid his head as well, but it does not count as a hitbox there. And that makes that a lot more doable, but still pretty rough. Okay, it's another new mini-boss. I guess I am gonna get the chance to see... What? Oh, there were spikes on the floor. I did not see that. This might be a rough fight. I was hoping to make it to King Dice this time with max HP, but when I'm fighting new bosses, that's not really a realistic possibility. I'm saving my super though, just because I've already gotten a good way, through the fight. At that point, it would have been a waste. Okay, well, that boss, despite getting one lucky hit on me, is actually probably one of the easier ones I fought. I think so far the toughest is probably the aeroplane stage. And I'm pretty sure it's only in the middle section, so I should be safe as long as I can land this roll. Yep, I am just getting better and better at doing that. You've made a mistake, King Dice. You haven't rigged things quite enough. Okay, number 9. I think I fought whoever they are before. Let's find out. Of course I am incorrect. Another aeroplane stage, oh dear. I'm using that more so for the iframes. Hopefully I was doing damage to the claw, or the monkey, or whatever it is. Oh wait, okay. Interesting. And presumably it's gonna have an... No? I'm guessing from the way it looks that it's not supposed to go all the way over to the left like that. I think I might have glitched this fight out. Okay, well, let's try and get a match. Okay, it's back. So you have to make matches while avoiding this jerkbag. That's actually a pretty interesting fight mechanic. Oh, and that's when you get the chance to attack him. Okay. So that was a waste. Well, not quite a waste since it resulted in me avoiding taking damage, but still. Okay, so you have limited time to attack. Let's see if I can get another match. I don't think I've seen that cup before. Oh, same thing, but a different color, unfortunately. I have seen the dice. I think it was over here. Yeah. I'm pretty decent at these sort... Wait, that wasn't a match? Huh, must have been very close. How about this one then? There we go, that's a match. Not a fan of how he does a bullet attack immediately. That is kind of difficult to avoid, which... I guess is the... Can I go through the rope? I don't know if the rope counts as a hurt box or not. And I'd rather not find out the hard way. So I'm just gonna ignore that for now. Oh, I see. He speeds up when you get poor matches. Okay. Or... No, instead he... Yeah, I think this fight might be being a little bit glitchy. I don't think he's supposed to vibrate so furiously against the edge of the screen like that. I think it's intended that he becomes faster and more aggressive the more failed matches you get. Which is overall a pretty cool gimmick. This actually might be my favorite phase thus far because of that gimmick. I did just say I have a good memory for these things, but I kind of haven't been paying too much attention, I'll be honest. Okay, well I know where that match is at least. I wonder if I'm more efficient with my damage if I can do this in fewer matches than I'm currently set to. Probably. Yeah, no, this fight just seems incredibly glitchy. Not that I'm complaining, it gave me a much easier time than I otherwise would have had, so... Don't look a gift toy monkey in the mouth. That's like the second time this playthrough that I've said mouse instead of mouth. Okay. A 3 and I've got it. A 3 and I've got it. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Right, he appears immediately because he's a huge-ass jerk. Oh, I did not parry off that last one because I am an idiot. I should be using my supers more often since I do get so many parry opportunities. Oh, and I just realized I can actually parry off those cards multiple times. They don't actually disappear. And to go along with that, they don't actually boost my parry score, it looks like. Well, if they do, it's to a much reduced degree. Yeah, I think they do boost my parry. Just much less significantly than most other targets because they don't actually disappear. Come on. I got a good thing going on here. And I don't want to lose it. Oh, yeah. Is that it? Did I beat King Dice? I beat King Dice. Yeah, honestly, well, it's certainly a much more involved fight than most of the others. Oh boy, getting a good time score on that. I'm not even sure how I'm going to do that, unless they give you more allotted time. I guess I just have to get really good at, getting the proper rolls, wouldn't I? But yeah, well, that's certainly a more involved fight than any of the previous ones. I wouldn't say it was any more difficult than the more difficult ones I faced previously. At least for me, it wasn't too much more difficult. So yeah, I think people have talked up King Dice a little bit too much. Maybe they just weren't making good use of his mechanics, or they weren't good at timing the parries or something. Okay, and that is how I unlock that side entrance. So, it's time to go face the devil himself. One hell of a time. My mug is ready. Ooh, I got a choice. Yeah, we're gonna have one hell of a time. Okay, as much fun as it was working for the devil, and as much as I enjoyed that job security, I'm here to get the true ending. But before I do that, I'm actually going to trek back a fair ways. Say, fellas, thanks for settling things down around here. Maybe now I can collect enough dough to pay for my chipped blade. Guess he's an axe. Speaking of which, I should get back to work. Gotta make hay while the sun shines. Okay, so that allows me to get this gold coin, because previously I'm pretty sure he was covering it. That's not all that great of a reward, though. I don't think that was worth trekking all the way back, considering I had to do so manually. Oh, and just a minor thing here. Let's make Shot Shot my #1. Just so that way I don't have to keep switching it at the start of fights, since I pretty much always go in with the Shot Shot. Okay, this time I'm saying no. Time to fight the devil. Oh boy, so King Dice really wasn't all that bad, at least by my standards. I didn't have too much more trouble with him than a lot of the other bosses. So let's see how rough the devil is going to be. Because it seemed like King Dice was the one that people were most complaining about. Not to say that people were saying the devil was easy, just that King Dice was the particular target of their ire. Okay, that's another one of those surprise attacks that you kind of just have to know is coming, honestly. Same with that, although I probably could have prepared a little bit better. Should I kill these minions? I think they're just here to be an annoyance. Ooh. But I don't think leaving them alone is going to hurt me later on, at least I hope.
A great slam and then
That snake attack is one rough move to avoid. So yeah, I know what attack he's gonna use, at least once I've seen it, by how he contorts his body. So he does have pretty significant tells for all of his attacks, so that's good. Yep, that one you just have to be really quick to react to. But otherwise it shouldn't be so bad, especially since it's over very quickly. I handled that one a bit less well, but that's fine. Ah, that's how things get rougher. And yeah, I really have to keep mind of the background because that shows me where the minions are going to spawn from. Unfortunately, that's not always the easiest thing to do, but that's fine. Okay, so all I have to do is dash from a jump, and that actually makes that a lot easier to avoid. Probably should have gone for that parry opportunity, but I'm not really looking to perfect the devil just yet, so it's not so big of a deal. Okay, second phase. No choice but to follow. Oh! You tricked me, I thought you were a skeleton, but no, you're a giant. At least you're a big target. I'm assuming I want to parry that before it explodes. Unfortunately, I wasn't quite quick enough on the draw. But it looks like I got through that phase pretty quickly. Assuming that counted as a full phase. Do I want to kill his minions? I'm not even sure if I can. He seems to act as a... Okay, yep. I just gotta get really close. And that reduces a lot of the shit that I have to avoid, so that's a good idea. Oh, but of course he spawns more, and that makes sense. Aw, poor devil. I'm sorry I made you cry. Oh wait, no I'm not. Seriously? Is this all the devil has to offer? He has to have a phase beyond that, because if so... Alright, as it turns out, the secret to that phase was just keeping the minions down. So this is just, diving back and... Okay, that was it. I could have had a victory so much early if I had it messed up in that first attempt, but oh well, it is what it is. So yeah, that was way too easy to be the real final boss. He's gonna have a form after this. Oh, we're not done yet. Hey, they did good. Kinda surprised Cuphead didn't just try and keep the contracts for himself. He seemed like the kind to do that. Yay, they won! Everyone's happy and lives ever after, or something. The end. Okay, so was that actually the final boss? Because if so, that is incredibly disappointing. Like, I would probably rank that towards the middle, maybe even the low end of the difficulty scale, as far as this game goes. And he definitely doesn't have anything on his minion, King Dice. Yeah, wow. I guess though, if you think about it, it is kind of fitting that the devil is kind of a chump. He relies on deception and trickery, and the help of others to get his way. He's not actually all that capable in and of himself. Still kinda disappointed though that the last fight wasn't the most difficult, but hey. It's a relatively small blemish on an otherwise excellent mug of a game.